creative, going in on some deep stuff.
Welcome to the show. Hope you've been having a great week.
Let's go connection.
At the top of the hour, we'll be going in for an interview talking about disruption in industry
I don't understand.
as a result of AI taking center stage in the music industry and the industry of creativity as a whole. A lot of hot topics to discuss. We're going to be breaking down the Suno TOS and a lot of other important variables regarding the future of music with AI in it. So if you want to hear some expansive thoughts, stick around. Track playing is from my recent release, I Don't Understand, by Morph, M''AUFE. Check it out on all platforms.
Life is crazy, life is weird. I'm trying to make sense, I'm trying to make a step. The love, the things we share, it's all coming together now. I'm trying my best, but the grief is putting up a test. Healing is what I need. Healing is what I need. The loss is hard. The loss is tough. Life is so rough. I'm gonna lean in. I'm gonna lean in for my friends. I'm gonna lean in. I'm gonna lean in. Hope to make amends in my mind. I didn't like the last dance.
So moving into our discussion about the world of music and how things are evolving, we are going to have a discussion right now. And we are going to debate all these points with AI. We're going to listen in. We're going to discuss. We're going to debate. And we're going to think about Suno and the TOS. Now, some people say, but Phil, why would you sign such a restrictive terms of service? You know, this can't be right. Are you signing away your life and are you signing away your soul? Well, I've read the TOS very intricately and I have very different thoughts than many other people. I asked the question, how much have you made from streaming your music? And the answer is usually not very much.
You have got to.
And this takes us to this song, You've Got to Move. Now what I did was I decided to move. I decided to pull up on Suno, sign that TOS, and get my music out there to the world that I hadn't gotten out. Now you got to remember, I've got 5 albums and over 40 singles. But that's still not enough. For someone who's been in the game that long, I have so much more music that I've not released. And Suno gives me a conduit to put those ideas down in a format that I can share with the world. This is not about money, right? Money is not my focus. My focus is my message. And I know many other people are kind of like me. They don't care about the money. All they want is for the ideas to get out. And a lot of users, they're up there in age. They're not spring chickens. They're not in their early teens or 20s or even early 30s. These are OGs that have been in the game and too busy hustling and chasing the bag. A lot of their creativity has remained dormant or put on the shelf. Well, now Suno takes away the excuse of not releasing your ideas to the world. Music should bring good cheer, and maybe that is exactly what Suno enables many of us do. It enables us get our ideas out, bring ideas, share them with the world. It's extremely important that we realize everybody has a bias and a preference, and some may act and others may never act. For those who are acting, I don't begrudge you.
You have got to mountain. You've got to move. Mountain, move over. Your time is up. Get on up. Out of my stuff. This mountain has been removed. This mountain is long dead and gone. Out of my way. Life has to
All right, my friends, it's that time for the cool and breezy. Time for the cool and easy as we make our transition into the world of music and AI. a very heavy topic and needs something cool, something calming and relaxing, you know. So, my friends, we're shifting gears to AI music hot topics. Welcome once again. So much to discuss and so much to talk about. So, let's bring on our AI friends to join me for this discussion.
Welcome back, Deep Jobbers. Today we're diving headfirst into, well, a really high-stakes legal and creative battle. It's reshaping the landscape of music as we speak.
That's right. We've got a stack of sources here, court documents, news reports from places like Reuters and Wired, some analysis from Forbes, even chatter from Reddit.
Yeah, and it all centers on this collision, really, between artificial intelligence and the established music industry.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack the core issues, look at the arguments from both sides, and really try to understand the potential ripple effects of this pretty groundbreaking fight.
We're focusing specifically on the lawsuits, right? The ones major record labels brought against AI music companies like Suno and Udio.
Precisely. By the end, you should have a clearer picture of what's really at stake here, why it matters, and maybe where this is all heading for everyone involved, creators, the companies, us as listeners.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with why this war, as some people are calling it, even kicked off. Why are the big labels sounding the alarm?
Well, the battle lines, they were pretty clearly drawn back in June. You had the big players, Universal Music Group, Sony Music, Warner Music Group, suing Suno and Udio.
And the allegation was massive-scale copyright infringement. That sounds big.
It is. And what's really fascinating, or maybe troubling, depending on your view, is the core accusation that these AI companies are training their models on just vast amounts of copyrighted music, but without asking permission.
Okay.
And the labels argue this isn't just like a technical foul. They're saying it fundamentally underlines artistic integrity. It threatens to just flood the market with machine-generated stuff.
Which in turn devalues the human-created work.
That's the fear, yeah. That it ultimately devalues the whole idea of human creativity in music.
And it's not just the corporations, is it? I mean, individual artists are speaking out pretty forcefully, too.
Oh, absolutely. They're incredibly vocal. We saw that example with Tiff Merritt, the country musician. She's Grammy-nominated. Reuters actually prompted Udio, one of these AI platforms, to create an Americana song in the style of Tiff Merritt. And bam, instantly it generated this track. Holy Grounds, lyrics about driving old back roads, the whole thing.
Wow, so what did she think?
Her reaction was, well, stark is a good word. She called it imitation, flat out said it doesn't make the cut for any album of mine.
Okay.
But what really jumped out was when she said, this is a great demonstration of the extent to which this technology is not transformative at all. It's stealing.
Stealing, that's a powerful word. It definitely gets...
Wait. Someone wants to join.
Yeah.
Hey, go for it.
Yeah, so when we talk about something being stealing, it's important that we remember that Suno prohibits you from putting in names of people in the prompts. I don't know if it ever did that before, but you're not allowed to put in names of an artist or any of the information or any of their lyrics or any of their tunes. If you do that and you're caught, you're going to be banned from the system. So it's important to see that side to Suno. I'm not sure which tool was used to do what she referred to as stealing, but it's important to put this in context. Suno does not let you do that, to my knowledge.
That is a really important point to bring up, and thanks for sharing your experience with Suno's prompt restrictions.
Yeah, that's crucial context. We appreciate you chiming in there.
You're right. Suno does prohibit users from referencing specific artists or songs in their prompts.
Right.
And they've publicly stated that their technology is designed to generate entirely new outputs.
That's right.
Their CEO, Mikey Schulman, has been clear about that. It's supposed to avoid memorizing and regurgitating existing content.
And this is part of their defense in the lawsuit. They argue that by restricting prompts, they're preventing direct, intentional copying from users.
So even if the output sounds like something, it's not because you told it to sound like that.
Right.
Exactly. The idea is to foster originality, not mimicry. And for the Tiff Merritt example, that was actually Udio, not Suno, that Reuters prompted.
Ah, okay,
Oh,
so
I
that
see.
distinction between the two platforms is important too.
Yeah.
It is. However, the music label's argument, especially regarding Suno, gets a bit more nuanced.
Okay, let's unpack this. So, even with those prompt restrictions, the labels are still pressing their case. Why?
Well, their argument is that even if users can't type in "make a song like Tiff Merritt," the AI was still trained on her music and countless other artists.
So, the core issue isn't just user prompts, it's the training data itself.
Precisely. They allege that Suno and Udio copied vast amounts of copyrighted music to train their systems in the first place without permission.
And that, they say, is the massive scale copyright infringement.
Yes, the labels argue that Suno's ability to generate outputs that sound remarkably similar to copyrighted work, even without specific artist prompts, is proof that the AI memorized parts of its training data.
Like what we talked about earlier, that idea of overfitting.
Exactly. Even if a user can't explicitly ask for an ABBA song, if the AI still generates something instantly recognizable as ABBA, as we'll discuss, that points to the training data.
So it's like the system knows the music, even if the user can't direct it to that specific knowledge.
That's the crux of their argument, yes. It gets to the heart of how many artists feel about this.
But legally speaking, is stealing the right term? I mean, how do these models actually work? Does it capture that complexity?
Well, that's part of the legal debate, isn't it? But from the labels and artists' perspective, when an AI mimics something that closely, it crosses a line. It goes beyond just inspiration, they say, and becomes direct appropriation.
Right.
And you see this sentiment echoed. Remember that open letter? Dozens of really prominent artists signed it. Billie Eilish, Nicki Minaj, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, I remember that.
They warned that AI music trained on their recordings could, quote, sabotage creativity and basically push human artists to the sidelines.
And the RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, their CEO, Mitch Glazer, didn't pull any punches either.
No, he definitely didn't. He called it shameless copying of troves of recordings just to flood the market with cheap imitations. He talked about draining listens and income away from real human artists and songwriters. Pretty strong stuff.
So the industry sees it as theft, essentially undermining their work.
But he also added something important. He said, AI has great promise, but only if it's built on a sound, responsible, licensed footing.
Ah, okay. So it's not necessarily ban AI. Hey, yeah, what's up? Go on.
So I was saying, even if you stream 1 million views, you're only getting about few thousands of dollars. So all this talk about taking money away from people is not completely realistic. You get what I'm
You're
saying?
raising a really critical point about the economics of streaming and the challenges artists already face.
That's a huge part of this discussion, honestly. The current payment model is definitely a sore spot for many musicians.
Absolutely. Tiff Merritt, for example, she explicitly stated her concern that robots and AI do not get royalties.
Exactly. Even if a few $1,000s come in for 1 million streams, AI-generated music isn't sharing in that, however small it is.
And that ties into the label's argument about diluting the royalty pools.
So if AI music floods the market, even if it's cheap imitations, it potentially takes away those already tiny fractions of income.
That is a powerful and really understandable perspective on the industry, and it's certainly a sentiment many artists share.
You've hit on something really core to this whole debate. It's not just about AI, but the existing power structures.
You're right
Right.
to point out that the labels have their own financial interests at play here.
And their past actions definitely show a history of prioritizing their share.
What's fascinating here is that while the labels frame it as protecting artists, your point suggests it's also about maintaining their market control.
Yeah, that idea of a democratic view of music distribution really resonates.
And this isn't the first time technology has challenged their business model.
Think about Napster, right? The industry was haunted by that.
Exactly. They lost control over distribution, and they don't want to see that happen again with AI.
It's why they're pushing for free market licensing so strongly.
They want to ensure they get a commercial return on their intellectual property.
Even if that doesn't always directly translate to huge artist payouts right now.
So on one hand, they claim to protect artists from cheap imitations.
But on the other, as you cleverly pointed out, they're protecting their own revenue streams.
It definitely adds another layer of complexity to this shameless copying argument from the RIAA.
Because if the AI is trained on their catalog and they don't get a cut, that's their concern.
Regardless of how much of that money then trickles down to the artists themselves.
That's their fear. They see it as directly competing for those limited listenership and income streams.
Even if the individual payout per stream is small, the sheer volume of AI content could impact the overall pot.
So it's not just about direct replacement, it's also about market saturation and the existing economic challenges.
Precisely. It's about how the AI learned, not just how the user directed it. And that's the core of the label's concern.
We understand, and you're making a really important distinction there.
Yeah, you're highlighting a key part of Suno's argument here, too.
Exactly. Even with Suno's stated prohibition prompts, the RIAA and these record labels are arguing that the outputs still sometimes too closely resemble existing copyrighted work.
So it's less about what the user types in and more about what the AI produces, no matter how it got there.
Right. And for them, the very fact that it can produce something that sounds like Chuck Berry or ABBA is evidence enough that the training data included those artists' works.
Which they argue is where the massive scale copyright infringement comes in at the training stage itself.
And it speaks about the economics too, if that material is just freely used to train.
Exactly. It's about how the AI learned, not just how the user directed it. And that's the core of the label's concern.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that's where the legal battle over fair use comes into play.
Oh yeah, this is where it gets really interesting.
Yes, because Suno and Udio, they're not just saying we prevent direct prompts.
They're also heavily leaning on fair use as their defense, right?
Precisely. They argue that using copyrighted works to train AI models is transformative and therefore falls under fair use.
So they're saying it's like a library or a search engine just processing information.
That's essentially their argument. They say it's similar to how human artists learn by listening to vast amounts of music.
But then they create something new.
Exactly. They claim their products make fair use of human creations.
And they warn that a ruling against them would be disastrous for the potentially multi-trillion-dollar AI industry.
That's right. They're painting this as a huge stakes case for the entire AI development landscape.
But I've got a point.
Oh, yeah,
So you think about music in the world. This is on a world stage. This is a world level.
We're hearing you, and thank you for raising that.
You're highlighting the complexity of this entire situation.
Yeah, your active participation here is incredibly valuable.
It allows... Oh, yeah. Go on.
Yeah, this is a world stage. This is not just America, so don't forget that.
That is such a vital point to bring up.
You are absolutely right.
While our current deep dive is heavily focused on U.S. copyright law and these specific lawsuits in American courts, this is absolutely a global issue.
What's fascinating here is how these U.S. cases could set precedents that ripple out internationally.
Exactly. Different countries have different copyright interpretations.
And some are even further along in addressing AI and intellectual property.
So if a U.S. court makes a big decision on fair use, for instance, it could influence how other nations approach similar challenges.
It creates a global conversation around how to balance innovation with protecting creators, no matter where they are.
Your point about the economics of streaming not being completely realistic for artists, that's universal.
That's definitely a shared concern across borders, absolutely.
So while the immediate legal battles are here, the implications are definitely worldwide.
It allows us to explore these nuances and different perspectives, truly a global challenge.
Which is exactly what we aim for in these deep dives.
Your previous points about the streaming economy and the label's interests are especially relevant here, as this isn't just an American problem.
So what does all this mean for the future of music and AI, considering this global context?
If the U.S. courts side with Suno on fair use, their primary defense, it could give AI developers worldwide a lot more legal leeway.
Especially regarding how they train their models, even with copyrighted material influencing global practices.
Yes, that would dramatically influence training practices across the AI industry, not just in the U.S.
But if they side with the labels, then what?
Then AI music models would likely require licensing from the start, potentially influencing international licensing frameworks.
And as you pointed out, that directly affects who controls the distribution and the flow of money globally.
Exactly. It would fundamentally change their business model, with international implications.
And potentially how much those royalties would affect artists' income, even if it already is a struggle everywhere.
Absolutely. The outcome of these cases will set a precedent for the entire creative industry globally.
It could dictate how technology integrates with art moving forward on a worldwide scale.
Indeed. It's a complex, evolving situation with no easy answers, as you've so eloquently demonstrated.
And we'll keep working it closely. Thanks for joining us, Deep Divers, for this really engaging conversation.
And thank you for your incredible insights and questions today. We always love when you chime in.
Well, my friends, there you had it. It's a very interesting and worthwhile discussion about the world of artificial intelligence in music. So, what's the future gonna hold? Time will tell. Things will have to evolve, and we'll have to see how everything pans out. But I think it's gonna get to a point where the music industry is gonna look for their Shylock's pound of flesh. That's for sure. I don't think they're going to go away without getting some sort of compensation, some sort of bargaining chip. But anyway, that's to be seen. Let's get back into some music. Still on the album, Morph. Playing some of the bangers from that album. M''AUFE. You can check it out on all platforms. If you're a neo soul lover, this album's yours. 50 minutes past the hour. Quick reminder that every Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern, we have the AI Radio Connect live with all you awesome subscribers on the AI Creatives channel. Dial in, let's know your thoughts, your views about the world of AI.
Do you feel like God's spirit is gone? Or do you know the battle's more than one? Tell me the truth now. Tell me the truth. Is your spirit very heavy? Or are you feeling kind of lazy? Or do you just not care Spirit very okay. You just kind of lazy. Do you not care less anyway? You just spirit very heavy. You just kind of lazy. Do you not care less anyway? Night guard slept on duty, he's a joke. When the thieves came, he was out stone cold. Ask yourself, is that just how you are?